This episode of the Triangle Offense podcast is hosted and sponsored by Unheralded Media. Unheralded Media is a digital media collective formed all by the love of basketball. So if you make videos, podcasts, articles, or you're a photographer or a videographer, and you love and specialize in making content surrounding the game of basketball, come to Unheralded and we'll host and sponsor your content. Whether it's NBA, WNBA, NCAA, or even the high school level, we'll take in your content and you can join us and form a special community. So if you do want to join, DM us at Unheralded on Instagram, Twitter, and all the other social media platforms you can find on our website, www.unheralded.xyz/web. Thank you for listening. Welcome back to another episode of the Triangle Offense podcast, the only podcast that is taking this opportunity to record right now because we're more entertaining than watching the Wizards play the Pistons. How y'all doing today?
Good, yeah, I'm good.
So another busy week of basketball. Obviously, the in-season tournament is continuing. First thing I want to say, some players got some issues with people running up the score at the end of the games. Specifically, obviously, DeMar DeRozan has some beef. Then Jason Tatum has some words. What you think? What you think about that?
Like I get it. Like it's more of a old school like fashion like basketball take. And so like I get the respect of the game part of it, but it's like you know at at this point like it's an in season game. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily like disrespect. It's just like you know people fighting for 500K. You know,
Word, they need them points.
yeah, so like they just trying to put themselves in, the best position to get that. So like people gotta understand like at this point it's not personal, it's just we trying to get this 500K. There's no disrespect. There's no disrespect towards anybody that they're playing. It's just like let's we try and make some money. Like we
Nah,
want this
word.
money.
And
That's all.
like, I think like each player get like 500K.
That's what I'm saying. So
So
it's
it's
just
like, if it's garbage time and I'm making like minimal contract.
and this,
Nah,
and
word.
if I'm a star, right? And say like I just came off a slump, but in the in season game, like I go crazy. And it's garbage time and it's an in season game. And they put they bums in. I'm racking up my points at this point. Like I'm looking at this as a way to stat pad. Like this, I feel like this is the only acceptable way for like stars to actually stat pad the in season tournament. Cause you got like if you want to like win that 500K, you gotta score you gotta like outscore the other teams. So it's like
Exactly.
so like why like I to me like I don't have a problem with it at all. Like if I was a star and I got a chance to run up my buckets, I'm going to run up my buckets. It's just that simple.
I feel you. What you think?
I mean, it's what Mike said. Like, you know the rules of the tournament. So, if it was a regular season game, like his point would make more sense. Like his argument would be more valid. But as far as scoring in garbage time, stop him from scoring. Like you know what the whole point of them scoring is for. So it's not that disrespectful. It's just them putting themselves in a better position to win the money.
Yeah, like exactly. Like instead of like having a problem with them scoring, like play defense till the buzzer go out.
Word.
DeMar not doing that.
Yeah.
Complain or play defense. DeMar taking the over. But for today, of course, we're gonna get into more player talk as we like to do on the show. We're gonna look kind of forward ahead to the trade deadline. Of course, we've already had some big names thrown out there even before the season started, but most specifically, the Bulls are already throwing out there that they're gonna have a little fire sale coming. So it's gonna be a lot of players, notably Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, who's going up for sale, and a lot of teams are going to want to grab them. So, of course, we're going to talk about those players, but overall, We're going to give 10 players that we think should and will be on the trade deadline this upcoming February. And just to add to it, one or two teams that we believe individually that we could see them going towards when that trade day does arrive. So obviously, some of our picks going to be the same because we do have to talk about the Bulls. We do have to talk about a few other stars. But there's also a couple players towards the bottoms of the list where, if they go there, things could switch up. So it's gonna be like that. How y'all wanna do it? We gonna do like the smaller players first and kind of like work our way up.
Yeah, we
Sure.
should do that.
Y'all did like top tens, like 1 to 10 type.
I ain't doing it in order, but I know like
Not worried. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just got like who we know is about to be traded, and then
Y'all wanna start with like the hot takes or just like the role players?
I could do a hot take.
Say that.
yeah,
Uh,
let's do like a flip flop, like hot take, then like
Or
calm it down a little bit.
one of my players that I think is gonna get traded by the deadline, Tyus. I think Tyus is
mm,
traded by the deadline.
where do you think
Um,
he gonna go?
for what? Where I think I'm not gonna lie. I had him. I had like I was really considering like
I'm
him
gonna
being
say
the
the
backup
Grizzlies.
Raptors.
Uh,
I think he could be a good backup point guard for the Raptors, especially with like all the scoring around him. Like for Tyus, I don't think he should be a second or third scoring option. Like, and that was the biggest problem I think coming to the Wizards.
nah,
Like for him, he has to be able to facilitate and get his buckets in the flow of the game. So it's like if he was to go to like the Raptors, you got Scotty, you got OG, you got Siakam. Like he's gonna be able to get guys involved, and on top of that, so much attention is gonna be on to them. He's gonna be able to get his buckets and spots and in spurts. So that was one of the people that I had on my list.
that's fair because our guard play sucks. Even though I do like Dennis Schroeder, it's like
And the
we don't
short
got
has
no
been
bench players,
yeah.
bro. Like what about you, bro?
Um, I like does this count as a hot take? Cause like it's Zach Levine, we know he's about to go.
Bro, it's like that. That's like towards the end, bro.
All right, so like then I'm gonna say Alex Caruso.
It's
Um,
like we know he gonna be traded
oh
too.
my God, wait, like all right, bet I was thinking, other than those two guys, another hot take I was probably thinking about, honestly, on the Magic, maybe Cole going soon. Uh,
Mm, I got another Magic player, high key.
Cole going soon because like Jalen Suggs, has been playing great for them. So it's just like there's no need to like ponder on guard minutes over there anymore in my eyes. I would I would trade Cole uh while his stock is where it's at right now, so you could get a better backup guard, or a better guard off the bench in general, or just anybody better in general, really. Uh because right now with what the Magic are doing with their current roster is great. Like they're doing great. So like I think the Magic need to try to expand on this like right now.
Where Cole going?
That I haven't really thought of. Like I'm more so thought of like who needs to be traded in terms of like the Magic in my eyes. But like and I thought of Cole first, but I haven't really thought of like where he would go. I don't necessarily see him like going anywhere. Cause like I don't think they're gonna trade him for real, but that's my hot take. I think that's who would probably need to go for it.
Mm.
I agree with you. This not my hot take, but I'm a bounce off of you. One of the names I was considering was Markel Fultz. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm.
I feel like it's not his fault that they're gonna kind of look to move on. It's just that like the Magic keep finding themselves bringing in younger guards that need to be played, and it's like Suggs is doing his thing. Like they drafted Cole, and Cole really has been producing for them since he came. Like immediately, they got like Gary Harris. They got they brought in two. They brought in two last year, and it's like it's not that
Yeah,
Fultz has been where it's not that Fultz has been bad for them. It's just that he keep getting caught up with the injuries, and I think it's more so of like they can't keep waiting on him type of thing. And
yeah,
it's like if he does bounce back, I feel like he could still serve other teams. I feel like a team like Brooklyn, where it's like they're younger and like Dinwiddie, he's been cool for them for some games, but a lot of games like I don't like him being on the floor out there with certain lineups. That he kind of like messes up rhythm a lot for them. So if you swap him with a guy like Fultz, I feel like he would just mesh more with that type of offense and that group of younger guys in general. Um, but my real hot take is Russell Westbrook. My real hot take is Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook's a player in his career where it's like not really a lot of places for him to go. And honestly, like being on the Clippers is probably the best thing that happened to him in a few years. But now that they brought in Brick Ross, it's like he can't really go nowhere. He's gonna take he's gonna take a step back, and he already has shown that. Russell Westbrook gonna be Russell Westbrook. Like he took the initiative. He decided to come off the bench, but uh obviously the Clippers tanked they bench just to get Harden. So now it's like a lose-lose situation. Um Honestly, the only place he could really go is Miami. Obviously, Kyle Lowry's like about to retire, and like Russ not too far off, but he still got more years left in the tank than Kyle Lowry. And obviously, it's like the Clippers, their bench took such a hit, and they can't trade Lowry for Russ because Russ took a minimum. But even if they got rid of like Josh Richardson and like I don't know Thomas Bryant, like that would do
yeah.
wonders for like the Clippers depth, and like the Heat won't hurt because they always know how to re up on those types of guys. So something
And
like
then
that is like I could definitely see, especially if the Heat kind of get in that little win now mode that they like to do. Like Lowry's been Lowry, like he hasn't really been trashed. They don't really expect nothing from him anymore, but to just run the engine. And he's been doing that. He's had a couple games, but it's like if they kind of just want to shake things up, or if the Clippers front office is kind of realizing like this isn't going to work at all, I could see them going out and like shocking, like doing something like that at the trade deadline.
I agree. I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that, man. I ain't gonna lie. What we doing next? Like a role play?
Yeah.
Uh, my next pick is Terry Rozier.
Mm.
Um, I feel as though Terry, like for the group that Charlotte has right now, especially while his stock is still high, I feel like they could go out and get some pieces for them for that young core and Lamelo and Brandon. I'm not gonna lie, I think I would like Terry in Miami just for the simple fact that they don't have like the depth isn't really that it's not that deep as it was before. And on top of that, it's like they don't really besides what Terry, I said besides Terry, besides Tyler, they don't really have like Jimmy not really like a like skilled scorer. Like he's just a for me get to the spot. But like
Get this spot, yeah.
Terry could really create for himself. So I like Terry in Miami. And I feel like Charlotte will get a lot back as far as like uh draft capital, money, like different things that can help their team build. And I just feel like their team is just too young for him. Like what Terry's like 29, 30.
Yeah.
So I feel like he can help a contending team to win the championship. So
I feel that. I feel that. I feel like he could be like a championship, like
Yeah.
6, 7 man. I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah. Absolutely. 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 Um, where Terry, like, other than Miami, you see Terry anywhere else? Because, like, you saying Terry, like, that kind of got me thinking of another place where I would like to see him.
I like Indiana.
I
I
like
was
Denver.
I'm thinking Denver exactly. I was
Mm.
because like
Mike, see it. He see
The
it.
yeah,
only reason why the only reason why I don't say Denver is because I feel like he'd have to be too ball dominant.
nah,
I got a Denver player on here too.
Denver right now without Jamal Murray, they low key struggling. And it's like
Not weird, but
and
I feel it's I don't know because I'm banking on Jamal Murray coming back being healthy instead of going to go get another like for that team already having two ball dominant players going to go get a third. I feel as though like
he don't gotta play with Jamal Murray though. That's what I'm saying. Like it could be Jamal Murray, Jokic minutes, and then Scary Terry and Jokic minutes like that. Like because
I see that I can see that that's valid.
yeah, like at the end of the day, like uh Jamal Murray just like we have to be cautious of his injuries and his healthiness. So like going and getting a backup guard is just going to help the Nuggets. And obviously, like right now, they are struggling without Jamal Murray.
I feel
Oh
like
yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I feel like mine like I kind of gotta say these two together because it's kind of for the same reasoning. I got Monte Morris and I got Alec Burks. I feel like both of them. I know like Monte hasn't really gotten to play yet, and like Alec hasn't really played that much neither. But it's kind of like as much as of a steal as like Detroit got to get Monte, and like Alec Burks is always like a solid pickup in my opinion, like as a role player. I just felt like it was really redundant for them to go out and get those two guys where like you already kind of have this like weird guard rotation that they haven't really figured out. It's like Cade needs his minutes. Obviously, he's your best player, and then you got Jaden Ivey, who's kind of getting the short end of the stick, and then you got Killian Hayes, who's still getting minutes. And like, I'm not going to get into that, but it's like if they believe in him, then it's like I don't really see where Monte Morris really has an opportunity to provide his services to the best ability.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like and like kind of the same with Alec Burks because they still also have bench guards who still take up minutes, and that's before they have even really come back into the rotation. And I just feel like a player like Monte Morris is like too talented of a point guard, where it's like he's pushing into like third string minutes
Hmm.
and like for Alec Burks, he's just like such a good spark plug bench scorer. Like I could see him being on a Denver. Like that was the player I had in mind for Denver. But more so like Minnesota. I could see him like in Minnesota. Just not because their bench unit is per se weak, but I feel like just Minnesota's in a place right now where it's one of those teams where like you could throw in a guy that seems like inconsequential now and he could come up big like towards the end of the season, especially when there's like injuries and stuff like that.
Right.
And for like Monte Morris, I was thinking more so Houston just because with with the Thompson twin, like I feel like I'm not going to say he's injury prone, but even in the minutes where, because Houston still has minutes where like they need guard play, and like Fred VanVleet kind of shot himself out the game, and they kind of just need to try something different. And it's like with Amen, it's like they'll play him even and like I think they should be cautious of his health, but like when they do play him, it's not really in uh positive lineups yet, and that's just something that develops with time. I feel like Monte Morris is like a perfect point guard to kind of be running with like young defensive talents like Jabari Parker, Jabari Smith Jr. and people like that. Um, but high key, I kind of wanted to see Monte Morris in Philly, just because like obviously they have Tyrese and Tyrese is super
I had
valid, but
another
it's like
player that I
what'd you
wanted
say?
to see in Philly. I got after you say what you're about to say, I got another player I wanted
I
to see in
got you.
Philly.
It's just like I think Pat Bev is just so trash. Like I just genuinely don't think he should be a backup point guard. I don't think he should be the primary guy that they're relying on when Reese is on the floor. I feel like if they have Monte Morris, like they bench production would just hit a whole another level. Like Philly is already good. Like we know Philly is good, but it's like if their second unit is as solid as like one of the best in the league, then it's like they can really feel comfortable because that's always been a thing with Philly. It's like they've won the games, but they never feel comfortable about their team, and then they go into the playoffs and it just falls apart. So I just feel like that's a good like fortification piece that they could pick up, but I don't really know like what they would throw out to give Detroit to get that back. But I feel like that's one of the stronger ones on this list that I would actually want to see. Like it's definitely Monte Morris. But who you got for Philly? Um,
I was gonna say Malcolm Brogdon.
see that I had him going somewhere more obvious. I just feel like, but what's your
I
reason?
feel like Malcolm is a great two way. I'm not gonna say a great two way, but I feel as though he almost like he's like Tyrese. Like he gets after it on defense. Um, and he's a good scorer. Like I feel like once Tyrese comes out the game, or when Joel comes out the game, like they're scoring dips, like especially from the guard position. And on top of that, when you got Patrick Beverly running the show, like it's not as organized and ran the same like with Reese in the game. Like when Reese is in the game, like they're running through their sets, like they're getting the shots that they want. When Pat is in the game, like everything just goes downhill. So I like Malcolm. I like Malcolm in Philly, and I feel like with him coming off the bench, like he's already a six man of the year. Like with him coming off the bench, I feel like that's another piece that I put the 76ers over the top as far as getting deeper into the playoffs and having a deeper run.
Nah, where I feel that. Mike, what you got?
Uh, I don't know if this is too obvious because of recent reports, but Bones Highland.
That was my next I was gonna talk about.
Bones Highland, I have one reason why like they should just trade him is because like they say he's not gonna be playing anymore. So it's just like might as well get rid of him. Don't have him just sitting there wasting his year. And two teams I was thinking about for him really like a semi three. Uh I was thinking of sending him back to the Nuggets. Um
They don't want him back.
they
I
yeah
think they want him back.
they don't want him back, but like they they desperately need a backup guard that can do what Jamal Murray does in a sense. So like that so basically the same reason why I said I would like to see Scary Terry in Denver. Uh my second team was the Pacers. Um I think picking up Bones Highland to play
And
behind.
their his team too.
Yes, exactly. To play behind Tyrese Halliburton, it's like that pace doesn't stop when Tyrese Halliburton sits down. They can keep pushing the ball, and he's gonna make those right plays, um, and pass the ball to the right guy. And like just like Tyrese for the Pacers is a high energy player and like a highlight reel kind of guy. Bones Highland can be that same person for them off the bench and cause just as much as a commotion that Tyrese Halliburton causes. And Bones Highland to me is every year in my eyes an easy guy to be like a six man of the year kind of guy. So um I would love to see Bones Highland on the Pacers. And my third team is the Rockets. Uh Fred VanVleet can't be playing too long, bro. Like it's just that for me. Like Fred VanVleet is just not that good anymore. I think we have to face that fact. Uh, and I don't think there's no other um guy to give like people like Shingun and Jalen Green at the guard position because uh Bones Highland is a great playmaker. He can do that. And he picks his shots well. And then he played with Jokic and he played well with Jokic. And you guys have the closest thing that we're going to get to Jokic in the coming years in Shangun. So why not pair him up and elevate Shangun's game while also having a playmaking guard who can also help Jalen Green get his shots and elevate his game because he's also struggling right now. So that's those are like three teams I would like to see Bones Highland go to.
I feel that. Before I add my two teams, like I just for Malcolm Brogdon, like I could see the Lakers being the team to kind of put that form in to go get him for real. I feel like with the Gabe Vincent experiment kind of failing so far, and the guard play kind of just always being like a cause of concern for the Lakers, I feel like the GM will kind of see like a little vet, a real good vet guard out there that they could use that's kind of stuck on the team. He'd be like, go bring me Brogdon. Like, I need that. And like they gonna listen to the GM. So and like, you know, Malcolm Brogdon, like obviously his thing is like his health and his availability and like his each time he gets hurt he loses some of his athleticism, but he could still score, like he could still play make at an above average level. And I feel like if you just get like a seasoned guy off the bench, um, I think it's worth taking a chance on for to kind of revitalize when they get stale offensively, um, especially since they don't really have a lot of leverage and wiggle room elsewhere in terms of financial investments.
Right.
Um, but for Bones Highland, I kind of took a different direction. Uh, I just kind of thought of teams where it was teams where you know you kind of take a flyer on a guy who's seemingly starting to become like a people starting to question like the locker room situation. It's like why do teams kind of are willing to like give up on him? Why is he always being offered up? Why is he not playing as much as he should? I feel like first off, like a team like Toronto, even though I'm not big on Bones Highland defensively, I feel like if Toronto took the right direction that they should be taking and surrounding the roster with players that fit the timeline of Scotty Barnes instead of trying to get specialists that are all in different time like age ranges, because they s- stopped trying to do that in the draft for real. So if they went out and got a guy like Bones Highland, I feel like he would be one of the better fits playing with Scotty in terms of his pace and how he likes to distribute the ball. But other than Toronto, I have Phoenix just because Phoenix is like a team where like they kind of like the bench guard play. And it's also needed just because they lost campaign and Chris Paul and they didn't really have any options otherwise. And they bench guards right now. They playing like Brandon Goodwin, no disrespect, but it's like you know if there's room for it, they could definitely go out and take a flyer for him. Me personally, I'll waive Bol because it's obvious he's not serious about basketball. But I feel like a player like Bones would really be like a spark plug player for them on their bench. And like Mike said, like the playmaking, the distributing, his ability to score. Yeah, I think like Phoenix bench specifically could benefit off of that.
I agree, 100%, 100%. They and then they especially need like a deep bench because
Not worried.
you got you got Devin Booker out there with Eric Gordon when KD not playing. Then you got KD out there with Eric Gordon when Devin Booker not playing. I'm not even gonna talk about Bradley Beal
They
because he's
they finessed a little calm bench, but not worried. But like if Bradley Bill not gonna play, they might as well. You show me.
yeah. Who next? You next, Niner?
What you got next for us?
I'm gonna go with Buddy Hill next.
See, he took my thunder. I was about to talk about Buddy.
I was about to talk about him too. I think
Um,
we same page on that one.
We at the point where we start talking about them names for real, and it's just where they going for real.
Buddy is like was understood. Doesn't really need to be explained. Like he's a great role player, knockdown 3-point shooter. Um, got a career average of 16 a game. Like he's a solid player, and I feel like he can be on a contending team. Um, if I put him on a team, it'd probably be like the Lakers or
Can't give the Lakers everybody now. Let's calm down. They already got
nah, yeah,
B
but it's like
deadline.
the Lakers, don't like they're not that good of a 3 point shooting team.
they never will.
But it's like they
Now
should be.
they definitely should be, but it's like they're not that great at 3 point shooting. I was thinking between the Lakers or the the Trailblazers.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie, like the veteran leadership that I feel like he could like. It's not they're not gonna win anything there, and I did say like I wanted him to go to a contending team, but it's like if he doesn't like he's not right now, so he might as well go lead a group of young guys, teach them, mold them, like, and he's still gonna produce. So it's between those two teams for me. And if you had to throw a third team in there, I say just come to Memphis because we can't shoot the ball. We
He
literally can't
recruiting.
shoot the ball.
He recruiting.
So
I mean, like,
I ain't
for
gonna lie,
me,
I was thinking about Memphis. That's later now. But
for me, I obviously I and he been picking it up too, so it's kind of whack to do this, but just because like he put it out there in the off season that like he was looking to for options to move on. I feel like they're gonna really go at him aggressively, just with that in mind, regardless. Um, I feel like for Buddy Hield, like high key, a team that could could really use Buddy Hill, and it's kind of wild to even say this is the Golden State Warriors. I
mm,
feel like I
that's
feel
wild.
like
I don't
I
think
feel
that's
like I feel like their mantra is obviously shooting, and it's like Steph is Steph, and like we got full China Clay going on, but in terms of like the remainder of their roster is really lackluster. Obviously, they it's been a lot that's happened. You know, a couple bad draft picks, a couple bad trades. But I feel like to have a player like Buddy Hill on their bench would do them a lot of good. That's a team that kind of struggles offensively, not in the way most teams struggle. But when they get as top heavy as they do, um, it's really important to have a priority in how good your second unit is, and like obviously they had that in mind when they went to get Chris Paul specifically for their second unit. But if you find a way to get Buddy Hield on Chris Paul's second unit, then it's like that alleviates a lot of offensive pressure from the starters that they've had their entire stint. Specifically Steph, because honestly, no other starter is putting the ball in the basket right now. But I feel like he can help
they
them
started, they started to pick it up a little bit.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
uh,
and like I feel like this is kind of like on the other side of like how Hum was seeing the Trailblazers. I feel like he would do a lot of. I feel like Buddy Hill would do a lot of good playing for a team like Utah. I feel like in terms of them, they're in a weird place where they could really decide to go either way. They could sell or they could buy because they have the players to build, but they also have the players to trade for assets. Honestly, like I know some people probably think Jordan Clarkson could be a trade deadline name, but I feel like they're not really ready to move on from those crop of guys that they have just yet. They still have some players that I think they're waiting on. Obviously, I'm waiting on Colin Sexton. I feel like they're waiting on THT. And then they have a couple other guys on the bench where they see the potential. But with Utah, it's like they've always had like the collection of guys that can go out and win games. It's just really no type of direction or cohesion that they've really taken as a team. I don't really think they have an identity. I feel like if you bring in like just like a super bench player like Buddy Hill, I feel like that can make the difference. I don't think that's going to make them any type of threat. But it'll definitely elevate. Um, it'll give them an uplift. In terms of like what they're probably looking for offensively. Because I just think when it comes down to it, you can rely on Laurie for scoring. You can't really rely on anybody else on that team. Even Jordan Clarkson, as much as he likes to score, he's very uh inconsistent. And I
Yeah.
feel like even though Buddy has started slow, he's a very consistent player just because he's been doing this for a long time. So if that's what they choose to look for, I could see Utah trying to go after Buddy Hill.
For me with Buddy, two teams I was thinking about, the Warriors, like Harold said, um, and this is also purely off play style. Um, like the Warriors would just fit everything that Buddy Hill is good at. And this one is based off this next team I'm about to say is strictly based off like how the coach works and how he positions everybody on the floor. The Celtics.
I knew it.
Uh
I was
What
waiting
player?
for him to say
huh?
What player for the Celtics?
it. Buddy Hill.
Because Joe Mazzulla loves that spaced out three ball game, even though I hate it.
You
Uh,
greedy, bro.
I'm not greedy,
You
but
greedy.
I'm not greedy, bro. I'm just saying like if this is how Joe Mazzulla is going to coach, you need to go put in the word for guys like this. If and this is only and if this is how Peyton Pritchard is going to be playing, just not taking shots when he has them and not being aggressive, I think this is the guy we go ahead and get for Peyton Pritchard. I think Brad Stevens could probably pull it off. We'll see. He's pulled off a lot in the past. Um, so yeah, like purely off of how Joe Mazzulla likes to scheme things in the offensive setting. He likes everybody five out, and coming off the bench, he can still do that with Buddy Hill on the floor, and Buddy Hill could also be on the floor with guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, when Drew Holiday or Derek White are sitting down. So Buddy Hill for the Celtics is another place I could see him if they end up trading.
Well, we got any more role players?
Oh, I got another role player. Uh, one this only because like I think it's like time to like try to see where he could um be more effective or have more like purpose somewhere else. Um, do he? I don't know if he necessarily counts as a role player to this team, but Keldon Johnson.
Oh,
Uh,
he's definitely not a role player for them.
all right, so
Nah,
then, okay, so then I'm not gonna say that. I'm thinking about it like Victor Wembanyama's there now. So
They're not giving up on him for sure.
so
nah, we're
yeah,
he
so then
averaging what 17 and
he averaged,
6,
I
17,
know he
6 and
averaged, but like, and I'm also looking at the numbers, and it's just like those kind of like solid role player numbers. But I'm, I then we
Oh,
gonna see.
Malcolm Brogdon. That was the other place I had for him was the
Oh,
Spurs.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then we'll get since I consider him like a star, then we'll get to that later.
Nah,
Is it
we're
time
really
to
the worst team in the league.
is it time to talk about them big names?
I do have a big name. I do have a big name that I want to mention.
I mean, we are. I feel like we should just talk about the Bulls last because that's what's
Yeah,
for
we know.
sure.
Yeah, we can talk about the Bulls live. I wasn't.
I'm leading away for this one.
Go ahead.
Nah, I think we're thinking of the same player.
My
Go ahead.
my road dog, Spicy P, bro. Like
Oh
Pascal
no.
Siakam
Yeah, he's going.
it's I it's not you, it's them. You know what I mean? Like you did all you could do. I feel like the team just has to take another direction. I feel like that's been clear since they drafted him, where it was like these two players are good, they could play together, but they can't play together. Like they operate in the same space a lot, And it's ultimately come down to the coaching to decide who gets to thrive and who doesn't. And Nick Nurse was trusting his product that he's had. And now Darko is like, he tested out the Scotty machine and it was going crazy, and now he's kind of taking it back, and we're seeing the numbers regress. And if he never took that chance to kind of see what would happen if they gave Scotty the benefit of the offense, now that we have that sample size, I feel like it's clear this is a 21-year-old versus a player that's about to be 30, who's been part of your franchise for almost 10 years. Um, Almost nobody else that you're bringing in fits his timeline. His timeline has passed. He's won a championship. I feel like this is a time where you go and you get the assets to build around this player that we see the potential in. Um, and obviously, like, the first team has been a team that's kind of been scratching and calling about him for like the last 2 years, and that's the Atlanta Hawks. Now
Yeah.
that they freed up John Collins and they finally got rid of that
I
lob
don't
merchant, I
for
feel
some
like
reason for some reason I don't like him in Atlanta though.
it's not. I feel like people are just going off the name, but like initially, I feel like the roster, the dynamic of the roster right now, I don't think it's good. But like on paper, especially like last year, they sorely needed like a viable third option. I also feel like Pascal Siakam should be a third option player at this point in his career. The way that he kind of goes about his offense, he's a extremely inconsistent first option. When he's a second option, it works. But if he's with Trey Young and he's with DeJounte Murray, then it's like that's another story. I'm very confident in him playing alongside those two players. Um, and also like it's not a lot of options in terms of like teams that are willing to take him in. Um, I feel like the one that the media set on is Atlanta. For me personally, it's the other team that they talk about a lot. But it's not as fail proof as I feel like it would be on the Hawks. I feel like that's more like a desperation trade. Like if things got really bad for Golden State, they've been calling about Pascal Siakam for a long time.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking about Golden State.
But
Yeah.
it's like they don't really have the assets. It's like if 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 the Warriors are calling about getting Pascal Siakam, they're gonna have to give up the assets, and they
I was
don't
about
really
to say
have
I
any
feel
assets left.
that eliminates the growth of JK though. Like
Exactly. They probably Masai gonna ask for Jonathan Kuminga, like he gonna ask for all the young pieces and assets that they have left. So it's like while I understand why you would want to go out and have a Pascal Siakam, it's like when you're a team that's built up all of this winning, it's like the assets go down significantly. Like they really don't have anything left in the tank to go out and like get a higher level star like that. Like they gonna trade Wiggins. Like I don't even think they would even try to do that.
Yeah, they
So
don't got this for that. I don't
bring
and,
Wiggins home. It's like,
and
oh
it's
my god,
like
I kill myself.
about like about stunting like uh JK's growth. It's like in my eyes, it's like if they were to trade him to the Warriors and then put um Scotty there anyway, it's like they were stunting JK's growth anyway. Like in my eyes, the Warriors weren't really using him. They aren't really using him in general. So like I don't really necessarily see the point in like if that ever comes up and those rumors are coming up and the Warriors are saying they won't do it because besides asking for Jonathan Kuminga. And it's like and they say no. And the Warriors like, nah, we're not doing that. It's like I
You
don't
better play Jonathan Kaminga after that.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't make sense for them to say no and they're not even using him now. But one team I was thinking about for Siakam that I think would be great for them
you
and for
better
him.
not say the Celtics.
I'm not
Second,
He not
The
saying something.
Kings,
He gonna say the Kings. Yeah, see,
the
he gonna say
Kings.
the Kings.
I
the
think
Kings. So
yes,
you know they have to give up. They probably have to give up Sabonis.
Give me Keegan Murray. Feel me?
they're not gonna
I'll
give up.
take care of
They won't have to
Saban's
give up.
contract. Like,
They
Bro,
probably
they're not giving up
give
Keegan
me
Murray.
Davion Mitchell. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Keegan Murray would do some things in Toronto. In my
oh, he
eye.
sure will. But it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
why
what
would the Kings wanna
I
give up
mean.
Keegan
on
may
a
not
rookie that good?
Keegan Murray.
They would. It's more. I feel like the Kings right now. They're in a great. Like the West is in a great place right now for those young upcoming teams because right now they have a chance to solidify what's theirs for years to come. The Kings are young. OKC is young. Like right now, both of those teams. Even though
They shouldn't touch their rosters for real.
I think OKC is fine, but I still think the Kings probably need to make some moves in my eyes. Like I don't think that roster is good enough to say like, yo, the West is theirs. Not in my eyes. Like they need something else. They need someone else, and I could see Siakam helping out with that. I think he'll play great off of De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron Fox will take a lot of pressure off of him. And even if they pull it off without having to give up Sabonis, even Sabonis would help with that. So yeah,
Oh
I
my
say
God, the De'Aaron Fox, Pascal Siakam 2-on-1 fast break.
see you peeping my vision. You peeping my vision. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like it will be perfect. It will be perfect.
What was the player you had?
But we got can we get to the Alex Caruso?
Is it? Yeah, it's Bulls talk. You gotta talk about
Oh wait,
Caruso.
we going to the Bulls now? Wait. I got a player.
Who
I got
else
a
you
player.
had? Who else you had?
All right. This might be like crazy, but I don't
He
There
just
you
pulled
go.
this out randomly.
only cause like I feel like it would be better for this player and well I think it would be better for both players. Like I have a whole swap in my head. Like,
I
and
say Julius Randle, Shanghai Shark swap.
no, but that's a good one. Uh Jaron Trip
I see about to,
and Trip and Jabari Smith. Now hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I know that sounds crazy. But listen.
It's like, yo, he just wanted to be bad. Like, what? Oh my gosh.
Listen. This,
No.
oh
yeah, I'm
my,
about to cry.
listen, bro. First off, Nahum, it's never happening. So don't get your panties in a
Oh
bunch.
my
Yo,
God, bro.
you hear him though, Harold?
Listen.
Jabari?
Oh
You could
my,
have said, you could have, I don't know. You could have said somebody else.
bro. Can you listen to me?
Oh my God, bro.
Listen. For on Jaren's side, one, I feel like if he goes to the Rockets in the current state that they're in right now, it wouldn't be so much pressure on him to produce offensively, and he could just worry about being a defensive anchor for that team, which I think having Dylan Brooks and Jaren Jackson there being your two defensive guys, having that elite rim protector, and then having a person who's doing great right now, guarding guys on the perimeter. I think that's
Well,
great. Who? Dylan Brooks.
who?
Yes, I said it. So I feel like having that two defensive tandem is a great thing for the Rockets. And two, you at the end of the day, you have Ime Udoka, who's a great like two-way coach in my eyes. So that's only going to help elevate his game. And then also for Jaren, like I said, he won't have to worry about being such an offensive guy because you have Shangun there and you have Jalen Green there, and they're going to be taking more of the shots. And like I said, all he has to do is worry about being a defensive anchor for that team. Now for Jabari Smith, I think him going to Memphis will only elevate his game, especially if he's playing with Ja. I feel like Ja would give him the touches. I feel like Ja would put the confidence in him, and then he's only going to take off from there. And then he's not Jaren Jackson on defense, but this guy is not a terrible defender. Like he could play D. Like he's a good rebounder. If you need him out on the perimeter, he can do that. He's a little small. He'll probably bulk up a little bit, but he's a little small out down there in the paint. And yeah, like I like this for both of these guys. I feel like it will fit both teams. I feel like uh the Grizzlies are desperate for like a third option, and Jaren Jackson just isn't that. And I think Jabari Smith would be
It's like
better at.
we can't even see it. We haven't even seen our team yet, bro. Like we
I
haven't
don't
even
think anything's going to change when Ja gets back.
Marcus Smart is a great third option, bro.
Huh?
Marcus Smart isn't a bad third option.
You
Is he?
you want to wait wait wait
He
wait
said, "You
wait.
want to tell me that?"
Like you want to tell me he was on my team? You
That's
had
cool.
I had him
He
at his
won y'all games.
I had him at his best.
He won.
You have him
Nah,
at his worst.
nah.
Nah, he hits you with the sloppy seconds. That's mad disrespectful.
I'm being real here, like real talk. And then if you think about how young they'll be with a strong core like that, like I really feel like it will help Memphis. I really do. Because like I
It's
said,
like
when Ja gets back, I don't think anything in terms of Jaren Jackson's offensive game is going to change. Like I always ask for it to
When Josh playing trips, his number goes up. Like he turns into a lob threat.
yeah, a lob threat, but like he can't like
He knocks down more shots. You can't expect bro. You can't expect him to be a liable second option right now when our first option isn't being liable. So it's like,
your first option Desmond Bain isn't reliable.
bro, the past like 4 games, he's been like 13, 6, and
Yeah,
12.
he in a slump, but
he's
he's
been
been
passing.
carrying y'all. He's in a slump right now, but he's been carrying y'all offense for the whole season so far. He's the
Yeah,
only.
bro.
He's the
I'm just
reason why
saying,
y'all got like what 3 wins, 2 wins. Like, come on. We
yeah,
about to
bro.
sit here and say Desmond Bain is like selling y'all because he's not. Yeah, he had a bad last 4 games. Like he been carrying y'all offense. He is the offense because Jaren Jackson sucks offensively.
Hey, man.
It's like if Jared Jackson, you just provided the best scenario if Jared Jackson randomly asked out on like a random Thursday before the trade deadline. But it's like, why would Memphis ever pick up the phone on that, bro?
But I'm just I didn't say Memphis would do it. I'm saying like this is about like who we like to see go
I
get it.
feel like he said that because we talk about wing, like we're in desperate need for wings a lot. But like, I don't like the
I'm about to
Jabari.
give you a wing. I'm about to
You
give
have
you
a
a wing.
three level scoring wing in
Better
Jabari.
not you better not say DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine because I don't want them. I do not want them. They can stay wherever they at. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
My destination for DeMar DeRozan, the Drew League.
And I'm not gonna lie, like hold up. You said the Drew League,
Yo, what?
and I'm not gonna lie, like for Jaren Jackson's stock is high right now. So like, say this was to actually happen, and y'all asked for Jabari and Amin, that could happen. You got Jabari and Amin now.
It's like they just took a men fourth overall. Why would they? That's
Like,
like two. They gonna trade two top four picks.
The Kings traded Tyrese after he was drafted. Uh what was he drafted?
It was like 12th. That's not the
Oh,
same.
that's
it's
bro.
not the same.
It's not the same, but still, like that's a high draft pick.
No, you're only saying that because of the production that he's giving now,
Who?
Tyrese.
I knew Tyrese was nice. I knew Tyrese was nice though.
Not word, but I'm just saying though, like this is a
So
whole
like,
different level.
what are you talking about? Like,
Bro,
what do you?
bro, we talk about like 30 and 17, like that's OD.
I
Like
know.
that's
Like, what? I'm missing your point. Like,
I'm talking
I know
about
Tyrese.
at the time he wasn't putting up 30 and 17.
I mean, obviously, he was playing with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is the guy. Like,
So
what do you want me to do?
he had to go.
I know he had to go. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm like I'm missing your point. Like, I'm still missing your
Saying
point.
like you tried to compare that to the Tyrese situation, and those are two completely different situations.
I mean, Amin is injured right now, so I don't see how we got to see some of Tyrese before he got traded. So I don't see how it's not the same situation. But hey, man, it is what it is. That's my take.
It's cool. It's cool. What is it? 9 more games?
Before Ja come back,
Yes, sir. And oh my god, take all. I'm just letting y'all know now. Take all the overs.
This is his Christmas countdown.
yeah, word. This is his Christmas countdown, just for Jaren Jackson to be the same way on offense.
Where Alex Caruso going, bro?
Celtics.
Bro, stop,
Like,
stop,
bro,
stop,
I'm joking.
bro,
I'm
stop.
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm
yo,
joking.
I swear, Celtics
He want
fans
the
be
he
just
want the greatest
I'm
three guard
joking.
defense.
I'm
yo,
joking.
bro,
I am
yo, bro.
joking.
Celtics fans be just like Miami fans. I swear they
Yo,
do.
I'm joking. Like I wasn't dead serious.
The only difference
Like,
between them and Miami fans is they don't put them in the jersey.
yo, I'm dead serious joking. Like, come on, bro. Like, God, I don't even want Alex Caruso for real.
Nah, what's your real team, Mike?
My real team, Pacers. Honestly, Pacers and the Magic.
I got two teams that struggle
I say the
defensively.
Thunder.
The Thunder shouldn't touch anything
But yeah, they
at
shouldn't get.
all
They shouldn't touch
You
unless
don't
they
anything.
think so?
trade Josh Giddey.
I don't know. I feel like I like him on the Thunder though, bro.
Josh Giddey.
It's like he could just fit anywhere. Like it's not even fair for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could
For
go.
me, it was between OKC and Pelicans for me.
It's like I got two teams that I feel like he's a player where it's like the contending teams are really going to like jump over each other to try to get him because he's a player where it's like I think the front offices believe like if they get him, then they can take the step into being like real contenders. He's one of those X factor type of players. So
Oh,
for me, like
okay.
my main team was the Bucks.
Okay.
I feel like people didn't expect them to struggle defensively as a whole, but it was clear that they were going to have a drawback on the perimeter in terms of their defense. So I mean, I don't even have to explain. It's like if you had that starting lineup and you got Caruso out there with Dame, then it's like he covers him and the offense stays the same. And Caruso can get his buckets. He's not a offensively focused player, but it's like when he starts, he's a viable option on the floor.
Mhm.
Um, and like that's like as good as it gets. Um, the one that's kind of like Aki that I kind of want to see, just because like I'm a fan of three guard lineups, is like I would like to see the Mavericks try to go out and get Alex Caruso. I feel
That's
like
hard.
I feel like you have him playing that three out there instead of like switching between Tim Hardaway Jr. and the likes of that. Like that actually might go extremely beneficial for the Mavericks, especially
That's
when people really do like to pick apart their guards on defense. It's like you put the other team's best player on Caruso on them, and like I feel like that's pretty fail proof, but I really don't know what Dallas wants to give up because they don't really have a lot of space to kind of give away their assets. But I mean, Chicago's in a space where they really should just be selling for draft assets and capital. So it's like, should if the Dallas got to pick somewhere, and it's like if it's really over for the Bulls, then if I'm Dallas, like I'm doing that yesterday, but maybe they just need to catch on that. But I see the vision. That would make me very excited. I already do like watching the Mavericks, so it's like
yeah, that's hard. I ain't thinking the Mavericks at all. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. I see the vision. Luka
where you
to ask
see
Caruso lobs. Oh my
where you see him going.
I said,
Memphis. Oh my bad.
nah. I said, well, yeah, I ain't like OKC. I
It's
said the
okay. See.
Pelicans or the Bucks.
Oh, the Pelican, man, it's like I see that. I see it. I feel like for the Pelicans, it's like I
You
don't
don't
even
have to
think
put
they're
that
they're
Hawkins.
thinking in that direction. I
Nah,
feel like the
word.
Pelicans are one of those teams where it's like they love getting specialists, and then like when they're good at their job, they feel like okay, we have that covered type of thing. So it's like
Yeah,
if they prod to get Caruso and they start if the Bulls start asking for a little bit more than they're willing to spend, they're gonna be like, well, we got Herb Jones, so it's like we ain't even really need him for real type of thing. So it's like, but I feel like I mean like I said, like he could go anywhere for real, but I like that. I like that.
Herb Jones balling though. Herb Jones balling.
You know how I feel about Herb Jones.
Yeah, we been on the Herb Jones wave.
The bar is time to Talk about the mid bros. Go. I just want to say, like going into this, my perspective is that Zach LaVine, and this is my quote, this is my take. Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, while they are players that can contribute to contending teams, they are players that don't impact winning enough to where you should be looking to cripple your bench to try to have a top heavy lineup. I feel like a player like those two need to be on teams that are bubbling. They need to be on teams that are building momentum, and they just need a star to break into the playoffs. And that's just the mindset that I had going in to picking where I would like to see these players. I'm not rewarding these players with making no big threes because I don't believe in big threes. I think that time is over, and that I just you already know how I feel about. I've been through the DeMar DeRozan D experience, so I just feel like I can speak on him. But for Zach LaVine, obviously Zach LaVine is a more talented, um, or rather he has a broader shot shooting ability.
I'm not gonna lie.
Um,
I got two teams for Zach LaVine. Y'all might not like him, but
DeMar, what we got for DeMar first?
oh, you said DeMar
Yeah, we got for
first.
DeMar first. We're gonna do
I
Zach
don't know
last.
where he fit, to be honest. I
Is
can't
that exactly? It's like
I like in this new era of the game, I can't, and like the direction teams are taking now, like that's why that's why this bull situation is unfortunate because it's like Lonzo really completed that team for everything that they were doing. And it's like at this point I can't see how DeMar would be effective without Lonzo at this point in the league. So like I can't necessarily see him anywhere. Like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
If I had to say a team,
he could go be mid with Miami. I don't know. Like
it's
I'm
like
not gonna lie. I'll take him over Julius Randle.
I mean, yeah. That's like
I'll take
what are we
If
talking
I'm a,
about?
anybody. I'll take anybody over Julius Randle.
I'd say Andrew Wiggins right now over Julius Randle.
Right. I'll take Jordan Poole over Julius Randle. Nah, I'm
All
just playing.
right, all right.
Who I would-
Wow.
Yeah, they would have to 1-on-1 to see who I choose. I don't know.
Jordan, don't put no baddies on the sideline.
Yeah, come on,
JP
bro.
not gonna lose.
Nah. That was Warriors JP. Wizards JP don't fumble the Ruby Rose money line. So it's like
Nah,
Yo,
you can't fumble the Ruby Rose money line.
Where's this JP got no magic?
Nah, word.
he's supposed to
He
be a
got
wizard. He got
he
no
got
sauce.
no
Nah,
magic.
I ain't gonna lie. If
He
this
had
Bulls
he
don't
had a
work
he
out,
had a
if
game.
the Bulls don't work out, DeMar DeRozan might have just found his ticket out the league, guys.
Don't do that. I feel like that's not even fair. I feel like he has the respect of his peers enough to finish his career in the league. That's
Nah,
not
Yeah,
word, but where?
some team will make it.
listen.
Well, fine. Watch him end up on like the Lakers or the Clippers or something, bro. Like I promise you. I promise you. I promise you.
Send him
The
to Memphis.
Nets?
Send him to Memphis. Feel me?
No,
They
don't mess
need
up.
they need the wing. They need a wing player. Send him to Memphis.
Don't mess up what the Nets got going on. The Nets have a good thing going on right now. Don't
Send him
mess
to
up
the Raptors.
over there.
It's like why? It's like we need shooters. We need people who can shoot the ball.
Word, word.
I got enough mid range shooters on my team.
Nah, where I ain't gonna lie, I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard.
I just said Orlando, to be honest.
Nah.
Nah, nah. Don't mess up what Orlando got
It's
going
like
on.
it's like Orlando. If y'all say that about OKC, Orlando is definitely one of those teams where you can't touch what's cooking
Nah,
out there.
I'm only saying him going to Orlando in a reserve role. That's the only thing. I don't see him. I don't see him going anywhere and starting.
Let's put
Like
them
That's
on.
type OD. I ain't gonna lie. If DeMar DeRozan not starting in the league, he might as well not be in the league.
Let's put him on the Pistons. Call it a day.
Not the Pistons is crazy.
Pistons or the Wizards, just put him on a trash team and call it a day.
It's like the Magic have no veteran scorers. You feel me? It's
I
like,
don't think they don't need it.
bro, it's like, all right, as high as we are on Franz and Paulo, they're
They're
not in no point in their career when they're as consistent go-to
absolutely,
scorers right now. So it's
absolutely.
like
I agree.
so
I
it's
agree.
like so it's like if they have the ability to get a veteran scorer on the low who can surefire win games down the stretch, can surefire give you 25 easier than the others can this early in their career, it's like I feel like that's worth
I
putting your team because it's like they have what it takes to go to the playoffs. It's just they're too young to have like that fortitude. You feel me?
I think I say don't mess it up only because like even with the inconsistency of Franz and Paulo, they
They're
have
young.
they're young and they have the second best record in the league while their two best players are being
That's
inconsistent.
really OD.
That's what I'm saying. You have a young team and your two
Like,
best players are inconsistent, yet you have the second best record in the East. That's different. Like that's a
bro,
great roster. I would not mess that
no,
up. Mar
the
DeRozan.
Timberwolves have the best record in the West.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I ain't talking about Carl Anthony Towns right now. He saved himself.
Where he did save himself. I ain't gonna lie. He
I'm
did save
about
himself.
I'm about to send him to the
I thought of
Knicks.
when I thought of this topic, I was like, yo, Carl Anthony Towns got to get out of there. And then as soon as I was thinking that, I was like, oh, he
Like,
balling.
okay.
Bro,
But now,
cook.
where I ain't gonna lie, I don't got nothing for DeMar, but for Zach, I was I was thinking about it was two teams in the West.
My team's
I
in.
was think,
I only got one West team.
I
I
was
got
thinking
one.
about the Spurs.
I got the Spurs.
I was thinking
I
about
got
the
the
Spurs,
Spurs.
and I was thinking about the Jazz.
The
I'm
Jazz, the
not gonna lie.
Jazz, the Jazz is OD. They
He
have to
goes to
like
the
change their whole rankings.
he
Like
goes to the
Clarkson
Jazz.
had to be out of there. Like
He goes to the Jazz. He'll just be Bradley Bill on the Wizards in 2021.
it's like
But not a. But nah, I like the Spurs one a lot though.
it's like I say the Spurs. It's just because like it's just we in new times. You feel me? It's like the Spurs losing a little too much. You feel me? Like Al Silver gonna make the call. He's like, yo, I need some action going on here. You feel me? And they gonna get Zach LaVine on the plane immediately. And it's like, Wemby is Wemby. Like he's gonna struggle. He's a rookie. He's not getting it easy. It's like Devin Vassell. We knew he's tough, but he's in the same boat as like Franz and them, where it's like he's not old enough yet to be a consistent scorer. And then like Keldon's not really a scorer. So it's like you bring in a veteran scorer who has the green light on top of having players like Sohan and Wimby and
Them
Zach
actually being
Collins.
on a culture team,
You feel me? Yeah. And
like an
you
actual organization.
he
Like,
still has pop. Like don't let Zach LaVine get a real coach.
not worried,
Don't put Zach LaVine on a real team that exists. You feel me? Like
not
I
worried.
don't, I don't like the Spurs for him.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's the best option possible that he could go to without
I
I
any.
agree.
I see a better option for two teams that if he get him, that would be like they would be legit for him, and he'll be a second option. Because if he goes to the Spurs, he's more of a like 1A, 1B kind of guy. Like
Yo,
Who
Zach
is he?
Levine. Yo,
Who is he sharing one with?
we're not about to sit here and disrespect Zach Levine like he's not a prolific scorer.
I'm saying 1B, 1A, 1B kind of guy. Because if you're thinking about it over the course of years to come, like, and he's still on the Spurs, and let's say Wimby is going to be who he actually is going to be.
And he
That
gonna carry Wimby gonna carry him to a chip. It's all gonna work out.
yeah, Wimby going to carry him to the chip. But I'm saying like I think we need to go. He needs to go somewhere where there's like less defensive. I mean, I said defensive. Less pressure off him to be like an offensive. I mean, he's going to be an offensive threat regardless. But like, I know I said this team a lot already, but The Pacers would be legit if they get a legit second option and Zach LaVine, and the Kings would be a legit team if they get a legit second option in Zach LaVine. Like I don't, and then we talking about real coaches. If we send him to Mike Brown, Mike Brown got Zach LaVine and
I like
De'Aaron.
the only reason why I like the Pacers one because of like the tempo. Like the Pacers, but the only thing about that takes the ball out of Tyrese's hands though.
But Tyrese is going to be giving him the ball. Like Tyrese already dropping. Tyrese already
Nah,
dropping
but it's a
25.
difference. It's a difference when Tyrese is giving you the ball, and it's a difference when he's giving you the ball, and now you're holding it for 7 seconds, going to try to get a bucket.
I understand. I get that. I get that. But like, let's be real. Like, that's not happening. The Pacers know what's going on with Tyrese. We know what's going on with Tyrese. It's like Tyrese has the keys. He has the keys. The only person that can take the keys, there's only a few people right now that can take the keys from Tyrese if they were ever to get traded over there. And Zach LaVine is not one of them.
DeAndre Ayton.
And then like with the Kings, like that team is so good on both ends of the ball. It's just like he'll be like
Covered.
Yeah, like
He probably want to go to the Kings so bad, bro.
huh?
He probably sleep some nights and he'd be like, man, I wish the Bulls would just let me sign with the Kings, bro. It's like
Yeah,
I was right there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was already close to being there. So it's like look at how they are right now. It's just like if it comes to a point where he's requesting, it's like I don't see why he wouldn't put that as one of his destinations.
I mean, I just thought of like I thought of like a really bizarre team. I feel like it's a lateral move, but it might be a move that saves them in the short term. Um, I pick Charlotte, high
Oh,
key.
I thought you was about to say the Bucks.
Um, I feel I feel like I mean obviously he's better than Terry Rozier. But I feel like he would help Charlotte more so in the ways that like I was talking about earlier, where it's like they just need something to kind of get out of where they're stuck right now. Especially since like kind of like the Magic, it's like we see the players on this team and it's like the talent is there. They just need like a name. They need a name that'll go out there and help them get to the playoffs. I'm not asking for him to do nothing else for them. It's like you're
The
better than
Hornets
Terry
need a lot more
Rozier.
than just Zach LaVine.
You need you need a vet. You need a vet that doesn't hate his job. You feel me? It's like I don't think he'll make them that much better, but it's like, and they're one of the teams that would genuinely have the assets. Um, but it again, it all comes down to like I feel like at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to like Zach LaVine's word. I feel like with DeMar DeRozan, they'll kind of just ship him to whoever will take him. But you know, Zach LaVine obviously contributed to the Bulls more than DeMar has the last however many years he's been stuck there. So it's like they'll probably listen to his requests, and he'll probably end up somewhere like the Kings or you know everybody goes to the Legium check hold, but it's like I don't know. I wanted to get like real hypothetical with it, but I feel like out of all the ones we talked about, it's like me and him we see the Spurs, but I feel like the Kings, if the Kings were to make to like be randomly really aggressive and make a trade now move, I feel like
It
they
would have
would
been a
go
bad
for
take.
I feel like they would have took Zach LaVine for sure.
The Hornets need prayer.
The Hornets need intervention.
Yeah, they need Jesus.
They need
Like
rehab.
Zach LaVine won't save him.
They need Josh Giddey. Oh, that's it. That's where Josh Giddey needs to go. Feel me? Oh man, Josh Giddey, Miles Bridges law. That's a criminal offense.
Yo, bro, you about to get us canceled, bro.
Bro,
How you gonna get us canceled? We don't got no viewers yet, bro.
nah, that's OD.
Like we don't even gotta like. Come on, bro. You gotta save people we famous, bro.
I pre That's gonna be another episode of the Triangle
This shit
Offense
got
Podcast.
crazy, bro.
If you if you watch it
Yeah,
on YouTube, man, as always, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to spread it, share it with your friends. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. If you're
Nobody about
listening on
to
audio
that.
platforms, make sure you on Spotify, leave the 5 stars. You on Apple Podcasts, leave the 5 stars. And as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We love y'all. We're gonna see
We
y'all
love
next
y'all.
week.
We do love
Tyrese
y'all.
Halliburton will win the in-season MVP. That's just
Oh,
leaving on a good note.
he
And
got
like
20 right
always,
now.
we're gonna see y'all. We're gonna see y'all next time.
yes, sir.